We constantly hear about XRP hitting $100 plus, and typically it's just hype videos. There's zero information behind them, zero math, and zero actual education or explaining of how XRP hits $100 plus. In this video, I want to outline a realistic view on how XRP can hit $100 and how it's not that crazy when we think about the longevity of this space. But welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. If we take a quick look at this market, right? This market versus the market 10 years ago, significantly different. But one thing is clear. XRP is still a top 10 project. Here is a snapshot going back to August 4th of 2013. Guys, XRP was number 3 in the market. It was sitting at $46 million almost in market cap. So you could just see how much this market has changed in just 10 years. But one thing that hasn't is the fact that XRP is still in the top 10. And if we are subtracting stablecoins here, XRP is still in the top 5. But XRP has gone through, the dumps. If we think about it, XRP got in the middle of a lawsuit with the SEC. For 4 years, practically, it was, tossed to the side. Missed a full bull run. The sentiment around XRP was at all-time lows back in 2021. Delisted on all major platforms. I mean, when we really think about XRP, the fact that it is still in the top 10 is very shocking. But this should also show you how resilient and how strong XRP actually is as an altcoin and how strong the community is behind it as well. And with things improving around XRP, like for example, the XRP ledger with amendments, with a lot more growth happening around XRP, a lot more opportunity as well with the AMM, with DeFi, I do think that XRP is starting to change in a very big way to the point where it's now becoming very, very bullish. And it does look as though it is going to start climbing the ranks in terms of market cap. Now, talking about this, right? We need to look at a few things. Let's talk about Bitcoin, because today's Bitcoin, almost $64,000. We know that it hit well over $71,000 or so. I think it hit like 73.6K, something like that on the March high. If we go back to 2013, guys, Bitcoin was trading at $105. Again, this shows how big this market has become. It shows how much money has entered this market, how much this market has grown. And if we're really looking at that, right, do we think that this is where the market stops? In my opinion, I personally believe this market will grow 10x from here, at least. And I think 10x is conservative for the type of technology that is behind this space, the names that are behind this space. But also, as we look at some price predictions, like for example, this one, and this is actually, this was on CNBC, and this is Cathie Wood. She's talking about Bitcoin hitting $600,000 to 1.5 million, and she's talking about this by 2030. Guys, it's almost 2025, which means this is technically 5 years away. We have Cathie Wood. Our base case for Bitcoin is in the $600,000 range. Our bull case is 1.5 million by 2030. ARK's Invest CEO is super bullish on Bitcoin. Check this out.
Okay, now let's talk pricing, or I shouldn't say pricing, but the price of Bitcoin. You and I have had conversations now over many years where you've talked about Bitcoin being worth something on the order of $500,000, literally in only a couple of years from now. Do you stand by that? How does this ETF change that, speed that up, slow it down? What do you think?
Yes, so you'll find in our big ideas, so that's at ark-invest.com, the building blocks for our price forecast. And our base case is in the $600,000 range. Our bull case, and we think the probability of the bull case has increased with this SEC approval. This is a green light. Our bull case is $1.5 million by 2030. You can see the building blocks. You can see how conservative we are in terms of those building blocks. This is a big idea. It is a It is the first global, decentralized, digital, rules-based, critical there, rules-based monetary system in history. It is a very big idea.
And let me ask you the separate question, which is, do you believe that for it to get to those type of numbers, it has to become a currency, not just an asset? One of the things that Brian Armstrong was talking about is he thinks that this is just going to create a lot more interest in crypto across the board, and that is what's going to actually propel this and might even change the dynamic with which Bitcoin is being used, which is currently today as digital gold or something like that, but potentially actually could leapfrog into the currency that people have talked about for many years.
Yes, our first paper on this was in 2015. The white paper is still on our site. And we tried to figure out, could Bitcoin serve the three roles of money? Store of value, as you say, most people agree with that one. Means of exchange, unit of account. And the answer to that was yes. We put out a Bitcoin brainstorm with our partner Bitcoin Park in Nashville. And it examines the convergence of artificial intelligence and Bitcoin. And you'll hear his nickname's Roast Beef on that podcast talk about that convergence and how it's going to redefine the division of labor. It's probably going to put the gig economy on steroids. And it's starting already in the emerging markets, in Africa in particular. So it's very exciting. I don't think people understand how hard at work the developers around the world have been. Lightning Network is a big part of leveraging the base layer, Bitcoin. So we're very excited. We're so happy that ARKB is going to be part of the ecosystem.
So there we have it, right? 600,000 to 1.5 million. Now, the crazy thing is that if I said, hey, XRP to $50, $75, people would say, Nick, you're crazy. XRP would need X amount of market cap. Okay, well, let's put it into perspective like this. If Bitcoin hit 600,000 to 1.5 million, what would be the market cap of Bitcoin? Because see, this is the big thing that I always focus on in this space is, everyone is so quick to say, oh, market cap for XRP, but they completely avoid it when it comes to Bitcoin or Ethereum or some of these other projects in the space. It's wild to me that just gets completely thrown out the window. Now, the reason why I say this is because, if we're talking about this space by 2030, we have to think about what is happening around crypto. Tokenization is the big thing. BlackRock and Citadel plan to launch a new national stock exchange in Texas to compete with the New York Stock Exchange. Here's a video of BlackRock CEO explaining how tokenization is the next evolution in finance. Every stock, every bond will be tokenized on a ledger or tokenized assets on the verge of mass adoption for global finance. Now remember, every single dollar will be tokenized. We already know that. But listen closely to Larry Fink.
We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP. It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification. We could rid ourselves of all issues around illicit activities about bonds and stocks and digital by having a tokenization. But the most importantly thing, we could customize strategies through tokenization that fits every individual. We would have instantaneous settlement. Think about all the costs of settling bonds and stocks. But if you had a tokenization, everything would be immediate because it's just a line item. And so we believe this is a technological transformation for financial assets. I believe if you want to talk about voting and voting choice and all the things, if we know every moment who is the owner of that stock and it's now time to vote, every individual who has ownership is identified and they can vote their own share.
So yeah, if we really think about what's happening here, every single asset manager, every single institution is now talking about tokenization. So if we're really addressing how big this market is, guys, it's in the hundreds of trillions to quadrillions of dollars. So if we think about this, right, what is going to be the market cap of a lot of these networks that are the home of, 1 trillion, 2 trillion, 5 trillion, 10 trillion, $100 trillion worth of on-chain value? Now, is that going to happen by 2030? No. But I can see at least $1 trillion on the XRP ledger by 2030. That is not surprising to me. And in fact, that is conservative. Now, the reason why I say this is because let's look at my math. Let's look at my breakdown price sheet of the price of Bitcoin, the market cap of Bitcoin, the price of XRP, the market cap of XRP, and then also the current percentage that XRP does hold in terms of market cap compared to Bitcoin. So the price of Bitcoin, 500,000, $10.5 trillion in market cap. 600,000, $12.6 trillion in market cap. 1.5 million, $31.5 trillion. Now we have the price of XRP. Now I'm going off of the full supply, all like the max supply. We're going off of, almost 100 billion for XRP. When it comes to Bitcoin, we're going off of the 21 million. $50 for XRP, almost 5 trillion. $60, almost 6 trillion. 150, almost $15 trillion. So practically half of Bitcoin's market cap at a lot of these levels. Now the current percentage that XRP has in terms of market cap versus Bitcoin is about 34.28%, which means XRP holds 34.28% of the market cap of Bitcoin. Now, if we're thinking about that, if that stays the same, and if Bitcoin hits 500, 600, 1.5 million, and if XRP just stays the same in terms of market cap, it's trailing behind Bitcoin the same exact way it has for the last couple years, all right, then at $500,000 for Bitcoin, XRP's market cap should be about roughly almost $3.6 trillion, while Bitcoin's is at about roughly $10.5 trillion. That would mean that XRP would be worth $35.70. Now, if Bitcoin hits $600,000, XRP's market cap should be roughly about $4.3 trillion, $42.84. Now, if Bitcoin hit 1.5 million, XRP should have about roughly $10.7 trillion in market cap, or $107.10. Now, the one thing that I'm not pricing in here is the change of market conditions, the market being regulated, utility taking over, and trillions. We're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars being tokenized on the XRP ledger. So if we think about this, right, these price predictions for XRP can change drastically. XRP's market cap could change drastically. We don't know what's going to happen in the next year, 2 years, 3, 4, 5. But by 2030, it would not surprise me. We're talking about roughly, 5 years from now, guys. It would not surprise me if XRP was trading between roughly $30 to $50. Now, can I see it hitting 100 and, some dollars by 2030? Again, it all depends on how aggressive the adoption of tokenization really is and how the market looks. Would it surprise me? Not really. If we didn't hit it, would it surprise me? No, it really wouldn't. Again, I'm being very conservative here. I still think $30 to $50 by 2030 is a safe bet. It could happen much sooner, but that's me being conservative. I personally am holding a percentage of my XRP bag on the sidelines forever. I'm not selling that bag of XRP. I always advise everyone to have a trade bag of XRP and have a bag of XRP that you just don't plan on selling at all, because I do believe that, once we do start to see utility matter, like really becoming a big piece of this market, and once we start to see everything being regulated, a lot of these utility projects are going to be very big pieces of not only this space, but TradFi and the global monetary system as well. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.